G'day, welcome to the channel. I'm Rod, thanks for joining us. We're here to talk more about Danelectro's Cool Cat range because I got a box of them. Yeah, thanks to Ken and Michelle at Port Lincoln Music World, where music is your world. This is a box of, I'll call it a box of rock, of course, a bit cliched, and there's something else out there by Zvex called a box of rock, but this absolutely is the Cool Cat range, 5 of the 9 pedals. And we're going to be looking at the distortion because we've had a look at the fuzz and we've compared both the drives version 1 and 2. I'm going through the Katana, fairly clean. Just a little bit of delay and reverb on there for my entertainment value. This is an Ibanez Steve Lukather Roadster from 1983. Okay. I think this is a great distortion pedal. I've really liked the pedals so far in this range. The Cool Cat range came out about 13, 14 years ago. I think maybe 2009. The drive that I tested was really good. The version 1 drive was supposed to be like the OCD by Full Tone, and they changed it after some people said, hey, change that to a version 2 pedal. The fuzz that we tried out was supposed to be a lot like a peach fuzz. I'm not sure what this distortion is modelled after, but it is good. It's not brittle. I'm just going to fiddle around with it and show you as we twiddle some knobs. The pedals themselves are really rock solid. The cast aluminium housing, the switch is solid. It's also aluminium cast. The knobs are out of the way at the back, so they're not going to get kicked by a stray foot, stray boot. But being out of the way at the back, you can't really get an indication immediately of where your settings are at without bending your head right over at the back. Now, with the 3 knob versions, it's not so bad. This one has a dual concentric pot on treble and bass. I'm going to show you how much fun that is to try and adjust. Anyway, here we go. Clean and engaged. Plenty of rocky overtone, it's not too fizz. That's a rock and roll amp, really, with that kind of distortion. That's with all the settings on noon. I'm going to bring the gain down and see if it cleans up. That's fairly natural. With the gain down at 0 or at the lowest setting, there's still a little bit of hair around it. But it just makes you want to go into rock territory and bring it back up to about halfway. And I'll wick it up and see what we get out of it. About 3 o'clock, that's juicy. And then all the way up. Plenty of gain on tap. That's with the gain up full. Yeah, there's a little bit of hiss, but you'd expect with the gain on full. I'm going to bring the gain back to, well, I've brought it back to about 1 o'clock there. We'll pump up the level, see how much how much boost there is in this pedal. Plenty of boost there on tap. I'll bring it back to sort of a unity level with the clean sound. And now we'll start playing with the level, the treble and bass controls. Now, I'm not looking at what I'm doing there, but I'm hopefully just turning the inside pot, which is the treble control. And you can listen, you can hear the tops that it's wound in. I'll wind that right up and we'll see how obnoxious we can get it to sound. Yeah, there it is, folks. There's that cardboard sound. And that's nasty. I'm going to bring it back down a little bit, bring it back down a lot. And we'll see if we've moved the bass part of that pot at all. So you can see there, we've got this dual concentric pot, and I'm just moving the treble setting there, which is the inside bit. And that's cool because the bass isn't moving at all. But let's try and adjust the bass and see how much fun we have. That's quite hard to do. It's really hard to do. All right, I've wound the bass right out and I've put the treble back to the center position. Yeah, it's lost all its guts as you'd expect. Now I'll try and wind it in. Right, I've wound that in somewhat, I don't know how much. Maybe a bit too much for my liking. I'll have a look and see where it is. See, that's not quite at halfway, that bass setting. So, I'm going to wind it in some more. Right, that's up full. And it's starting to get woolly and flubby and fuzzy, and it's lost that tight sort of bottom end that it had. So I wind it back. And I wind it back again to, okay, let's put that at about 1 o'clock. Put the tone control at about midday. And still, that's probably got a little bit too much bottom end for mine. So I'll bring that back to 12 o'clock again, because I really liked pretty much how it was. Like that. To see more Duncan humbucker, I'll switch it to a single coil. Straight away we get noise, of course. Back to humbucking mode. I reckon it's a great sounding distortion pedal. I've got a bunch of distortion pedals. I've had a bunch of distortion pedals going back to 40 plus years ago when I had a Coron distortion, which is a mustard 1-2 knob clone of an MXR at the time, I think it was. Then moved on to DS1s, that type of thing, and then tube screamers. The range of Boss, the range of Ibanez, you name it. This is as good as any, and it's got a good tone. So it's solid construction. I don't see why, if they get a bad rap, I don't see why, because so far I've trusted a really good drive in this series, a really good fuzz, and this distortion is as good as them all. Yeah, thanks to Port Lincoln Music World. I'm going to just rap on. See you next time.